Hi, I'm Mike Steele, candidate for Nicolet School Board. In this brief series of videos, I'm going to share with you some of my reasons for running for school board, a little bit more about my background, my qualifications, and what my priorities will be as a school board member. I've had the privilege over the past week of attending two events that have really brought to light for me some of the significant challenges that Nicolet is facing and have really sharpened some of my own priorities as a potential school board member. The first is the Unheard Voices event, and this was put on by Nicolet students a little bit more than a week ago. This was a series of artistic expressions, music, poetry, spoken word, and video, in which students really spoke and performed about these challenging issues related to society, race, sexuality, and gender. And this was an incredibly powerful experience for those of us who had the good fortune of being in attendance. It made it clear to me also that there is a group of students, and a significant group of students at Nicolet, who do not feel that it is a safe and secure and nurturing environment for them for a number of reasons related to the topics that I just talked about and more. And that's a significant concern to me as a school member. As a former teacher, it was always my goal that all of my students came to school feeling like school was a safe and secure place for them, and then they could express themselves in whatever way they chose to express themselves in the school, and that they would find support and they would find caring. And they would feel like their voices were heard, even if their voices were different than the loudest chorus in the school. The second event that I attended just last evening that had an impact on me as well was the Multi Ethnic Parent Association meeting. Um, and it brought to light some of these same issues, but from a parental perspective. I've also heard from a number of parents who have gotten in contact with me in the community, feeling like their voices aren't heard in the school board, that they don't have the opportunity to say challenging and maybe difficult things about what they're experiencing, what their students are experiencing, how they'd like to see the district evolve. And I'm always on the side of including more voices rather than muting them and restricting the time that people have to talk, the spaces in which they have to talk. And most importantly, at the MIPA meeting last night, we really got to talking about some of the important issues of structure at Nicolet that have traditionally served to separate different populations of students based on our perceptions of what they can and can't do, based on these very fixed mindsets about what academic ability students have, and these fall very much along racial lines. And that's really difficult for me to understand how we've let these sorts of issues persist. There should be no reason that the lower academic track classes should be predominantly African American, because there's nothing that indicates that those students can't learn and achieve at the same level as other students in the school. And it's not a matter of prior achievement, it's not a matter of anything except for opportunity. And we need to give these students the same opportunities that we're giving all of our students at Nicolet. It's serving in many senses to divide the culture of the school rather than unite the culture of the school. So one of my priorities as a school board member is to really make sure that we have a safe and secure environment where people's voices are heard, and that applies to students, to parents, and that the space is a welcoming community for students, for parents, for teachers, for the administration, and that people can feel like they can come and talk to members of the school board, and that we will go and talk to them and really work to solve these problems. This historical legacy model that has separated students rather than bringing them together and raising achievement for all students. The achievement gap that we talked about, the opportunity gap that I talk about, is nothing new. It didn't happen last year in Nicolet, just in the last year. It didn't happen just 3 years ago. It has persisted for a very long time. And I think it's time that the school board really takes seriously putting forth some leadership to challenge the structures and key in on fundamental solutions to these problems that have divided our student population. Thanks for listening. I'll be back in the next day or so with another video from a place very different than my little study here in Glendale. Thanks for watching.